Hello and welcome back to part 5 of a Purple in Peril, a Warlock life. Level 5 now. We have some new gear to show off, Feywild gear. I could have put a bit more, but I chose to stick with some of the stuff I already had on. So we have a ring here for the Radiance and Radiance Law, which is the light spell power, because we've taken this, as mentioned in a previous episode, we were going to take this Utter Dark Blast enhancement in the Tainted Scholar tree. So that switches our base blast damage from force to light. So we're now interested in light spell power and critical chance, which that ring does for us. Otherwise, we have Armor Pendant, excellent item at this level. So Spell Focus Mastery, as I mentioned before, 2 bonus to DC of all spells, Insightful of the same, 1 bonus. So we've got +3 to the difficulty level of all spells there, as well as some extra defense with the physical and magical resistance. So that's nice, and a nice augment slotted, +1 on all saves there. We have some nice Feywild armor as well. Now this, for the level at which it appears, is ridiculously strong. I think I'm right in saying this stuff. This is kind of the equivalent to the Ravenloft thing. The exceptional spell power and spell law is the same as on the Ravenloft stuff. So at level 5 this is really strong. 3% bonus to spell crit chance for all spells. Just to put that into perspective, that's the same effect as a tier 5 enhancement, exactly the same as a tier 5 enhancement in one of the Warlock trees, which you would get at level 12. So this is really powerful for a caster. There is an equivalent robe as well if you're not able to wear the light armor, like maybe for an alchemist or something. Otherwise, I think the gear is broadly speaking the same. That's changed. No, the hat's changed. Just a bit more spellcraft and a bit more intelligence, like an upgrade on the last one. That was the same, that's the same. The trinkets changed, that's a Kenneth crafted, just constitution and charisma, the bread and butter for any warlock. And the weapons are the same as they were at 4. We did get a pact related spell, which at level 5 for the acid warlock is knock, so situationally useful for opening locked chests and doors in heroic. I say heroic because our charisma will be low enough that when you get into the epics, the knock just won't work on just about anything. But still, it's nice to have in heroic. It's not terrible by any means. I think that's the only thing that's changed spell-wise. I've taken the scrolls here, fire shield, cold and hot. So if you didn't know, very handy if you're expecting big fire damage or big cold damage incoming. Just set the opposite. So if we're expecting big fire damage, put the cold version for a 50% reduction in that damage. So that's quite nice to have, provided you remember to trigger it, of course. I think that's it for now for the gear. We're going to attempt this quest, the Caverns of Shaagh, if that's how it's pronounced. Just before we go in, I'd like to thank one of you, you know who you are, who messaged me in game earlier today just to say that you'd enjoyed watching the series so far. So very glad for that. From where I've come from playing the game completely alone for longer than I can remember, and just not being willing or able to interact with any of the community. It's just nice to be in a position like this, I guess, and helping a few people along their journey. Just another little thing that happened to me earlier this life in Korthos that I wanted to share. I've no idea what the person was doing or how they achieved it, but I think it was like I guess you would call it griefing. Somebody, obviously a seasoned player because they had the Reaper wings, wandering around the Korthos public area, not wilderness area, public area, summoning dinosaurs somehow, like dread protoceratops or something like that. No idea how they were doing it, and just killing everybody with it in the public area. So I was just sitting there as a soulstone thinking, what just happened? To give the fellow his due, he did come back afterwards and resurrect me after a while. I was left thinking, well, basically, WTF. And on that happy note, we will get in there. Okay. And this is the last level at which we have to use these clickable boots for the speed, thankfully, because I'm getting a little bit tired of it. The solution, obviously, for the run speed is the Quiver of Alacrity from the heroic Necro raid, the Abbot raid, but I don't have that, and I probably won't ever get that on this character. So I have to find ways around it. Okay, I think we're good to go. Oh, we haven't done our false life. Oh, hello. That's not good. I hope that's not an omen of things to come. I guess that means my spot skill is bad enough that I'm not going to detect these sneaky hobgoblins until they're like on top of me. And as it's almost all hobgoblins in here, that's not good. I think it's only the clerics, like there's a cleric up there, but I'm sure he's surrounded by other people as well. You've got to watch these clerics, by the way. They cast, what is it, that area of effect thing, that flame strike. So don't be standing still, especially not when you see the telltale flame around them that tells you they're about to drop the boom on you. Just keep moving, because that thing does some damage. And dispatch them as a matter of priority. Or incapacitate them like that. Got to love web. Look at that. Awesome. Yeah, lovely stuff. As mentioned in a previous video, the web is helped out a bit on this character by the 2 cleric past lives he has. Web is conjuration, and cleric past life gives +1 on that particular DC. So that's an unexpected bonus for this life.
There seem to be large amounts of activity.
Ooh.
Hear goblin voices not far from you.
There's definitely a case for going around with the blast permanently on, so I don't get caught by these people just popping up on top of me.
The river canal below is blocked by a locked gate.
I've got to be careful with those red crowns. just going to nip in here to the left and hopefully not attract any of the things from the other corridors. Sneak in, grab this chest which has the key to the to progress through the river gate, and just get the hell out of here. Oops. If I'm a lot quieter than on previous episodes, half of it at least must be because I'm kind of waiting any second for them to sneak up on top of me. Oh, there's a red crown up there. Can we drop a web up there? Just quieten them down a bit. I think it works, but it's worn off now. Have I gone wrong again? Yes, I have. Not sure that was the right thing to do, leaving people behind me like that, but we're gonna roll with it. I think we're coming round towards the business end of the quest now. I'll be honest here, I thought about trying to show the last one in this chain, which is one level higher and is pretty well full of dangerous traps. But I had a feeling that it wouldn't end very well, so I played safe and went for this one instead. Maybe one day I'll grow some balls and try it. So it'll be a good idea to put some web down here because they're all going to come flying out, I think. That web did a hell of a job. Failing that, everything would have been in our face, so yeah, that tells you, that one little sequence there, just how good that spell is. When it works, of course.
The note reads, "Seal is hidden deep in halls of Shantokor. Soon we use it to bargain with Bergthrim."
And that's part 2. I'm now going to go in here and most likely get slaughtered in part 3. Thankfully for me, you're not going to see that. This was level 5, and I will speak to you in the next one. Thanks very much for looking. Take care.